Hi guys, let's move on to the last exercise of this chapter, exercise 13C. Well, there is no new concept in this exercise, just the application of the midpoint and the section formula. So let's go ahead and solve these questions directly. So question number 3, it says A, negative 8, 0, B, C are the vertices of a triangle ABC. Point P lies on AB such that AP is to PB is 3 is to 5, and Q lies on AC, and AQ is to QC is also 3 is to 5. We need to prove that PQ is equal to 3 by 8 BC. So we'll try and first figure out the coordinates of P and Q, and then use distance formula to calculate the length of PQ and then the length of BC and see if it works out. So using section formula, let's try and calculate the coordinates of P. So P will be equal to, so this is 3 times and this is 5, so M1, so 3 into 0 plus 5 into negative 8 upon 3 plus 5, and the y coordinate would be 3 into 16 plus 5 into 0 upon 3 plus 5. So this is equal to negative 40 upon 8, which means negative 5, and that's 48 upon 8, that's 6. So coordinates of P are negative 5, 6. So this is negative 5 and 6. Let's try and find the coordinates of Q. Q would be, again, this ratio is 3 is to 5. So this would be 3 into 0 plus 5 into negative 8 upon 3 plus 5, and y coordinate would be 3 into 0 plus 5 into 0 upon 3 plus 5. So that's 0 plus negative 40 upon 8, which means this is in negative 5, and this is 0 upon 8, which is 0. So coordinates of Q are negative 5 and 0. Now using distance formula, let's calculate the length of PQ. So PQ would be equal to negative 5 minus of negative 5, that's plus 5 whole square, plus y2, which is 0, minus y1, that's 6 whole square, the square root of it. Now let's see what does this give us. This is negative 5 plus 5 is 0, so that's PQ is equal to square root 36, which means 6 units. Let's try and calculate the length of BC as well. So BC is equal to 0 minus 0 whole square plus 0 minus 16 whole square, which means this is equal to 16 square. Therefore BC is equal to 16 units. Now since 6 is equal to 3 by 8 into 16, therefore BC is equal to, or therefore not BC, BC is equal, PQ is equal to 3 by 8 of BC. That's what they wanted me to prove, hence proved. Done. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we do is question number 4. Question 4 says, find the coordinates of the point of trisection. Now what does trisection mean? Bisect means to divide into 2 equal parts. Trisect means to divide into 3 equal parts. My mistake, 3 equal parts. So this is the line, and it is dividing the point 6, negative 9 and the origin. So we need to write the coordinates of origin. Origin is 0, 0. So let's say this is being divided by P and Q. These are the 3 equal parts. So let's give this a name A. So we have OP is equal to PQ is equal to QA. So the ratio in this case is 1 is to 1 is to 1. What do they want me to find? We need to find the points of trisection. So OP is to PA will be equal to 1 is to 2, and OQ is to QA will be equal to 2 is to 1. So let's try and find the coordinates of this, in this case M1 and M2, and this case M1 and M2. So let's try and find the coordinates of P. P would be equal to 1 into 6 plus 2 into 0 upon 1 into 6 plus 2 into 0 upon 1 plus 2. The y coordinate would be 1 into negative 9 plus 2 into 0 upon 1 plus 2. Next, Q would be equal to 2 into 6 plus 1 into 0 upon 2 plus 1, and the y coordinate would be 2 into negative 9 plus 1 into 0 upon 2 plus 1. I think I needed more space, but anyway. Next would be P is equal to 6 upon 3 and negative 9 upon 3. Yes, and Q would be equal to 12 upon 3 and negative 18 upon 3. Therefore, P will be equal to 2 and negative 3, and Q would be equal to 4 comma negative 6. Therefore, the points of trisection are 2 comma negative 3 and 4 comma negative 6. Let's look at the next question. The next question is question number 6. In what ratio is the line joining A, which is 0, 3, and B, which is 4, negative 1? So this is B and this point is A, divided by the x-axis. So let this point be P. So what would be the coordinates of point P? Well, since it lies on the x-axis, the coordinate would be x and 0. So let the coordinates of P, which is point of intersection, be x comma 0. Done. Any ratio given? Oh, that no. So we need to calculate the ratio. So let's look at this. So this is 0, 3. This is 4, negative 1. I know the value of y coordinate. So using section formula, I get 0 is equal to m1 into which point are they taking as 1? Let's check which is the first point that they're given, 0, 3. So this is our point. So m1 into y2, which is negative 1, plus m2 into y1, which is 3 upon m1 plus m2. Let's cross multiply. So this gives me 0 is equal to negative m1 plus 3m2, which means m1 is equal to 3m2. Therefore, m1 is to m2 is equal to 3 is to 1. Please keep in mind the question has asked for the ratio, so your answer should be in the ratio form, not in the form of 3 by 1. This is a fraction form. This won't be acceptable in the ICSE final exam, because this is the question has been asked in the form of a ratio. Do they want? Yes, they want to figure out the coordinates of the point where AB intersect. So they want me to calculate the value of P as well. So using distance formula again, X would be, so now that I know the ratio, this is 3 is to 1. So it will be 3 into 4 plus 1 into 0 upon 3 plus 1. X would be equal to 12 upon 4, which means 3. So therefore, P is equal to 3 comma 0. They wanted two things. One was the ratio and the other was the coordinates of the point of intersection. Done. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we do would be question number 8. AB is the diameter of a circle with center C, which is negative 2 comma 5. A is given equal to 3 comma negative 7. Find the length of the radius AC. So radius AC using distance formula. So using distance formula, AC would be equal to negative 2 minus 3 whole square, that's x2 minus x1 whole square, plus y2 minus y1, that's 5 minus negative 7, that's 5 plus 7 whole square, the square root of this. which means this is negative 5 square, that's 25. This is 12 square, which means 144, which means this is equal to square root 169. Therefore, AC is equal to 13 units. Perfect. So that's the first part of the question. The second part of the question, let's see what do we want. They say the coordinates of B. So here we can apply midpoint formula, which means C is the midpoint of AB because AB is the diameter. So C is the midpoint of AB. So let B be equal to XY. So let B be X comma Y. So using midpoint formula, we get 3 plus X upon 2 and negative 7 plus Y upon 2. That will be equal to the midpoint, in this case negative 2 comma 5. So let's equate the X and Y separately. 3 plus X upon 2 is equal to negative 2 and negative 7 plus Y upon 2 is equal to 5. Let's solve them separately. 3 plus X is equal to negative 4, which means X is equal to negative 7. Perfect. And let's solve this. So this is negative 7 plus Y is equal to 10, which means Y is equal to 17. So as per the question, they want the coordinates of B. Therefore, B is equal to negative 7 comma 17. Done. These were the two parts of the question. Both of them done. Let's look at question number 10. The midpoint of the line joining something and something is this. Find the value of A and B. Again, a simple question using midpoint formula. So using midpoint formula, I have 4A plus negative 4 upon 2 is equal to 2. That's the X coordinate. And 2B minus 3 plus 3B upon 2 is equal to negative 2A. Let's solve these two equations separately. So this is 4A minus 4 is equal to 4, which means 4A is equal to 8, which means A is equal to 2. Done. Let's look at this one. This is 2B, that's 5B, 2B plus 3B, that's 5B. So 5B minus 3 is equal to, when I cross multiply, I get negative 4A. 5B minus 3 upon 2 is equal to, yeah, that's negative 4A. I know value of A now. So 5B is equal to negative 4A plus 3. Put A is equal to 2 here, which means 5B is equal to negative 8 plus 3. 5B is equal to negative 5. Therefore, B is equal to negative 1. Let's read the question and figure out what they want me to calculate. They say find the value of A and B. Done. A is 2, B is negative 1. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we do is question number 13. A very interesting question. Let's look at the question. Prove that the point A, B and C are vertices of an isosceles right angle triangle. So basically we are looking at a right angle triangle, and where this side and this side are equal and this angle is 90. So which is the 90-degree angle? We don't know. So let's try using distance formula to prove that length of two sides is equal. And how would we prove that this is right angle? Yes, we can apply Pythagoras theorem and that will give us the answer. So let's look at this. So number 1, AB would be equal to negative 1 minus of negative 5, that's plus 5 whole square, plus negative 2 minus 4 whole square, the square root of this. This would be 4 square, that's 16, and this would be negative 6 square, that's 36. So therefore AB is equal to root 52 units. Perfect. Now let's look at the length of BC. BC is equal to 5 minus negative 1, that's 5 plus 1 whole square, plus 2 minus negative 2, that's 2 plus 2 whole square, the square root of this. So this is 6 square, 36, this is 4 square, 16. Therefore BC is equal to square root 52 units. Now I already know that AB and BC are equal. which means B would be the right angle. So AB and BC are equal. This is root 52 units and this is root 52 units. Let's find out the length of AC. So AC would be equal to 5 minus negative 5. So that's 5 plus 5 whole square plus 2 minus 4 whole square and the square root of this. So that's 10 square, which is 100, and this is negative 2 square, which is 4. Therefore, AC is equal to root 104 units. Now, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square, which means 104 is equal to 52 plus 52. Now, since this is equal to this, therefore, using converse of Pythagoras theorem, triangle ABC is right angled, and since AB is equal to BC, therefore triangle ABC is isosceles right angled triangle. Done. So I have proven the fact that this is a right angled triangle. Now the interesting part about this question, which is find D so that ABCD is a square. So we need to find the coordinates of a point D which will make this a square, which means let's say the coordinate D would be somewhere here, and if I can join it, then this would look like something like this, and all angles obviously would be 90 degree. This would also be root 52, this would also be root 52. So how can I figure this out? Any suggestion? Yes, let's go back to the properties of a square. We know that the diagonals of a square bisect each other. So diagonals of a square are equal, one, and then they bisect each other, which means the midpoint of AC and the midpoint of BD will be equal. So since in a square midpoint of diagonal AC is equal to midpoint of diagonal BD, let's use this property to find what could be the coordinates of D. Let D be x comma y. Let this be x comma y. Now let's using midpoint formula. Let's calculate midpoint of AC. So midpoint of AC would be negative 5 plus 5 upon 2 and 4 plus 2 upon 2. This would be the midpoint of AC, and the midpoint of BD would be negative 1 plus x upon 2 and negative 2 plus y upon 2. Yes, negative 2 plus y upon 2. Now equating this is 0 is equal to negative 1 plus x upon 2, and this is 6 upon 2, which is 3, is equal to negative 2 plus y upon 2. Let's cross multiply. This gives me 0 is equal to negative 1 plus x, which means x is equal to 1. Let's cross multiply. This gives me 6 is equal to negative 2 plus y, which means y is equal to 6 plus 2, which is 8. Therefore, D is 1, 8. Anything, any difficulty in this? No, none at all, except that we needed to apply one property of a square, which is diagonals of a square bisect each other and they meet at the same point. Yeah, basically bisect each other, which means midpoint of diagonal AC is equal to the midpoint of diagonal BD. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we'll solve will be question number 15. Calculate the ratio in which line 2x plus y No, that's the question 16. Sorry, question 15 is calculate the ratio in which the line joining A -4,2 and B 3,6 is divided by point P x3. Also find x and the length of AP. So let's look at this question and see how we can do it. A simple one. The coordinate of the y-axis is given. So this is coordinate of y coordinate of P is given. So let's apply the formula, which is section formula, and calculate. So using section formula, I get 3 is equal to, which is the first point they've given? Is A the first point? Yes, -4,2 is the first point. So this is M1, this is M2. So 3 is equal to 3M1 into 3 plus M2. Oh, my mistake. This is y coordinate. So not 3, 6. Sorry. So this is the y coordinate. So I am looking at y2. So 3 is equal to 6M1 plus 2M2 upon M1 plus M2. Let's cross multiply. So this is 3M1 plus 3M2 is equal to 6M1 plus 2M2. Let's take all M1 on one side, M2 on one side, which means 6M1 minus 3M1 is equal to 3M2 minus 2M2. This gives me 3M1 is equal to M2. Therefore, M1 is to M2 is equal to 1 is to 3. So the first part of the question done. Now let's apply this ratio and try and find the coordinates of x. So again, x will be equal to M1 into x2, which is 3, plus M2 into x1, which is -4 upon M1 plus M2. Let's cross multiply. So not by cross multiply. This is 3 minus 12 upon 4. Therefore, x will be equal to -9 upon 4. Always a good habit to write your answer in the smallest form. This will be -2 1 upon 4. Done. What else do they want? So I found out the ratio. I figured out the value of x. They want us to find the length of AP. So length of AP using distance formula. Let's calculate. So therefore, P is equal to -2 1 upon 4, 3. These are the coordinates of P. So using distance formula, AP would be equal to -9 by 4 x2 minus x1. That's minus of -4. That's plus 4 whole square plus y2. That's 3 minus y1. That's 2 whole square. The square root of this. This would be -9 plus 16 upon 4 whole square plus that's 1 square, that's 1, which means this is 7 upon 4 whole square, which means 49 upon 16, not 4, 49 upon, so this will be 49 upon 16 plus 1. Let's take LCM and add. That'll be 49 plus 16 upon 16, which means this will be root 65 upon 16. Therefore, AP is equal to root 65 upon 4 units. Anything else they want? No, nothing else. So AP is root 65 upon 4 units. So that finishes question number 15 for us. Let's look at the next question, which is very interesting, which is question number 16. So question 16 says, find the ratio in which line 2x plus y is equal to 4 divides the line segment joining the points P and Q. So we don't know what the point of intersection is. They want us to find the ratio. Do they want us to calculate the point? No. So they only want us to calculate the ratio. And which is the first point they've given? The first point they've given is P, which is 2, -2. So let the ratio be M1 is to M2. Let the ratio be M1 is to M2. What else do we know? Can we try and find the coordinates of this point? Do we know anything about this point? No. So let this point be R. let the point of intersection be R and X comma Y. So let the coordinates be X comma Y. Using section formula, let's calculate the value of X and Y and in terms of M1 and M2. So X would be equal to M1 into 3. So that's 3M1 plus M2 into 2. That's 2M2 upon M1 plus M2. And Y coordinate would be equal to M1 into 7, which is 7M1 plus M2 into negative 2. That's minus 2M2 upon M1 plus M2. Perfect. What else can we do after this? So we've got the value of X and Y. We know that this point X and Y also lies on the line 2x plus y is equal to 4. So this point satisfies the equation of this line, which means if I substitute the value of x in this equation, I should be able to find the value of x and y. So since our xy lies on 2x plus y is equal to 4, substitute x and y in this equation in 2x plus y is equal to 4, and we get 2 times x, which is 3m1 plus 2m2 upon m1 plus m2 plus y, which is plus 7m1 minus 2m2 upon m1 plus m2 is equal to 4. So let's substitute and see what do we get. So let's substitute. This would give me 6m1 plus 4m2 upon m1 plus m2, and the second term is 7m1 minus 2m2 upon m1 plus m2, and this is equal to 4. Let's take the LCM. The LCM will be m1 plus m2. This would be 6m1 plus 7m1 plus 4m2 minus 2m2, and the right hand side is 4. So 6 plus 7, that 13m1 plus 2m2 upon m1 plus m2 is equal to 4. Let's cross multiply. 13m1 plus 2m2 is equal to 4m1 plus 4m2. Taking m1 on one side and m2 on another. So 13m1 minus 4m1 is equal to 4m2 minus 2m2, which means 9m1 is equal to 2m2. Therefore, m1 is to m2 is equal to 2 is to 9. That's what they wanted me to calculate, the ratio. So very interesting question where we start with taking the value of the point of intersection as any coordinate x and y. Using section formula, we first calculated the value of x and y, and since this point also lies on the line 2x plus y is equal to 4, which means the value of x and y will satisfy this equation. So I put this value of x and y in this equation, and it helped me find the value of m1 and m2. Now in case they had wanted me to calculate the value of r, then I would put these value in this equation of x and y. This will help me get the value of x and y as well. Right, so very interesting question. Let's look at question number 19. Again a very interesting question. Image of A 5 negative 3. So where would 5 negative 3 lie? Let's draw a rough diagram. So this is 5 negative 3. Somewhere here would lie the point 5 negative 3. Reflection in point negative 1 3. So let's say this is the point P negative 1 3. They want me to figure out where would the reflection lie. Now we know that if there's a mirror is here and my object is here, the image will be formed exactly the same distance but on the other side. So let's say approximately here, this is A dash where my image will be formed. Let's say the coordinate of image is A dash. Anything that we know now that we've done this? Yes, the mirror is exactly in the middle of A and A dash, which means this is the midpoint. So very interesting question where they talk about reflection. So what we know basically, one property is that the image is formed behind in the same line but exactly at the same distance as the object is in front of it. So since P is the midpoint of A dash, which means using midpoint formula, we get 5 plus x upon 2 is equal to -1, that's the x coordinate, and -3 plus y upon 2 is equal to 3. Solving them separately, I get 5 plus x is equal to -2 and -3 plus y is equal to 6, which means x is equal to -2 minus 5, that's -7, and y is equal to 6 plus 3, that's 9. So let's read the question. What do they want me to calculate? Find the image. Therefore, the image is formed at -7, 9. So the only thing they've done is they've said that this is a reflection, and we know the property of reflection that it will be formed exactly at the same place behind, as in at the same distance behind the mirror, and that helped us figure out the midpoint. Let's look at the next question that we do, which is question number 20. So let's look at question number 20. Question number 20 says M is the midpoint of the line segment joining A04, which means as per the question, AM and MB are equal. M also divides the line segment OP in the ratio 1:3. So this is the ratio 1:3. Let's see what else is given. Find coordinates of M. So since M is midpoint of AB, we can use the midpoint formula. So 0 plus 6 upon 2 and 4 plus 0 upon 2 would be the coordinates of M. So M will be equal to 6 upon 2, that's 3, and 4 upon 2, that's 2. So that's my first part, which is done. Let's look at part 2, coordinates of P. So coordinates of P, the M is 3, 2. I know this section formula. So using section formula, I get 3, 2 is equal to M1 into X2. So let P be equal to X, Y. So let's write that first. Let P be X, Y. So using section formula, I get 3, 2 will be equal to M1, which is 1 multiplied with X plus 3 multiplied with 0. Why 0? Because this is the origin and the coordinates of this point are 0, 0 upon 1 plus 3, that's the X coordinate, and the Y coordinate would be 1 into Y plus 3 into 0 upon 1 plus 3. Now solving these two equations separately of X and Y, let's see what do we get. So I have 3 is equal to X upon 4, and on the Y1 I have 2 is equal to Y upon 4, which means X is equal to 12 and Y is equal to 8. What do they want in the question? As per the question, coordinates of P. Therefore, P is equal to 12, 8. So that's the second part of the question. This is 12, 8. Let's see the third part. It says length of BP. So I need to calculate the length of BP using distance formula. So this will be 12 minus 6 whole square plus 8 minus 0 whole square. The square root of this. That's 36, and this is 8 square is 64. This is equal to root of 100. Therefore, BP is equal to 10 units. I hope you remember to write the units always. So these are the three parts that they wanted. We've finished with all three parts. That brings me to the last question of this exercise and the chapter, question number 22. It says A, B, C are the vertices of a triangle ABC. G is the centroid. So we remember that the centroid is the point of intersection of the three median, and it divides each median in the ratio 2:1. That's something that we remember. And we also remember that to calculate the centroid, it is x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3. And so centroid is basically x1 plus x2 upon plus x3 upon 3. And y coordinate of the centroid is y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3. These are the coordinates of the centroid. So let's look at the question. What do they want? Find the value of x and y. So using the centroid formula, I get 3, 4 is equal to 3 plus y plus 1 upon 3 and 1 plus 4 plus x upon 3. Basically, I've added the x coordinates of all the vertices and the y coordinates of y coordinate of all the vertices. So solving them separately, 3 is equal to 4 plus y upon 3, and on the other side I have 4 is equal to 5 plus x upon 3. Let's cross multiply. 9 is equal to 4 plus y and 12 is equal to 5 plus x, which means y is equal to 5 and x is equal to 7. What do they want in the question? Calculate the value of x and y, already done, and also find the length of BC. So now BC is y4, which is 5, 4, and C is 1x, which means 1, 7. So now we will use distance formula, which means BC will be equal to 5 minus 1 whole square plus 4 minus 7 whole square, the square root of this, which means this is 4 square 16, and that's negative 3 square, that's 9, which means therefore BC is equal to 5 units, because this is basically square root of 25. BC is equal to 5 units. Perfect. That finishes this exercise for us and also the chapter. Some questions for you as homework, which are question number 7, question number 9, question 11, question 17, and question 21. 5 questions. Bye. Take care. Be safe. See you soon.